Alright. I think I maybe recognize 2 names on this list. Maybe 3. Hmm. Takes me back to my childhood of just playing the piano. A few of these chords are just inversions with different voicings. Pretty much the vibe that I wanted to go with, where it just kind of repeats into itself over and over. It was really fun to find the groove, chopped up this drum loop, one from one of Bishu's kits. Took out all of the kicks, little pop loop, some more percussion. I liked this kind of a swingy percussion loop, but thought it was a little boring. I automated the pitch, so it has a little bit of randomness to it. And then I thought that was too boring, so I automated the automation to change the bandwidth of the bandwidth over time. Yeah, these drums were really easy to make. We got all the drums. You know, the DJ, the whook, just alternating between the, just trying to keep it a little interesting, keep it from getting boring. The drums were one of the harder parts since I don't really make this kind of genre that often, but it was a nice challenge and I got to do some mixing tricks that I don't normally get to do. Got all my drums going into bus compressor, going into a room reverb. This is what it sounds like with just the, I called it the chamber. This is what it sounds like with absolutely no dry signal. So it's just the room reverb. And I'm heavily crushing it with an LA2A. Get as much of that room sound as possible so I can just blend it into the dry signal. So I'll slowly bring in the dry signal when I'm playing it here. I used more buses this time around than I normally do. I took all of these into an 1176. Slower attack, fast-ish release. Hovering around -3 to -5. With the rest of the melodic instruments, I just sent them to the master. I like having my stringed instruments like bass and a guitar pretty clean, even though I do have this acoustic guitar getting a little squished by an LA2A. Just to bring it down a little bit. This is my secret for live bass sounds. Literally just flex. Brought it up, the API, 1176. I wanted a little more of like 1.3. I wanted to get almost that fingered sound into it. Just a tiny little chorus, because it is the only bass that is playing through the majority of the entire song. I wanted it to be just a little more interesting, have a little stereo information. I do have a little synth bass with a little delay in the bridge here. No tempo, just a little intro. And then I took that, made it into a waveform, reversed it, added a huge reverb, exported it again, reversed it again, so now it sounds like this. We have these two, one after the other, and that's our intro. As for the mix bus, it's literally just the 2500 by API. Just my favorite bus compressor. It's very subtle. Now this is not a traditional mastering approach, this is just how I do it. Start with normalizing, and then I can shave off the annoying piece with a clipper, just getting them out of the way so they don't affect a compressor later down the line. Then I added a mastering compressor. Just very, very subtle adjustments, very subtle peak reduction, not even full decibel. It is at parallel, so I get a little bit of that dry signal in as well as the wet signal. After the compressor, I have an instance of a mid-side EQ, and I'll do another A/B comparison with and without the mid-side EQ. When using a mid-side EQ, you never want to have a high-pass filter or a low-pass filter because that could mess up with the phase. So just stick with a shelf and you should be good. Lastly, the mainly passive EQ. Got a small boost around 70 Hz and another small boost around 3.3, and it is a passive EQ, so I don't have to worry about adding too much information to the signal. And I also have a low and high-pass filter engaged. 27K, you're not really going to hear a difference. It's just shaving off those really, really high highs and those really, really low lows. It is the most subtle out of everything because I believe I'm just doing like a decibel and a half. Like, this is not even a full decibel of boost. I tricked myself into hearing a difference, so I just go with it. And I'll do a final A/B comparison with the pre-mastered and the actual master, and I'll start with the pre-master.